Hello, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you all to our chapter number 5 of the Python Beginners Tutorial. So now, here in this particular chapter, we are going to learn about different type of operators. Okay, so to link between two text or two object inside programming, we will use operators like if you want to differentiate, like if you want to do any calculations. Okay, so we will learn about arithmetic operators. Okay, we will learn about different type of comparison operators and a lot more over here into this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, again, I am in the same project. And from here, let me create up a new Python file. And I'm going to name this particular file as operators, as we are going to look at different kind of operators that we can use into our statement. Okay, so as you guys can see, I do have the operators, and operators are basically different kind of symbols which we can use, or different kind of functions. Let's say if you do want to do addition, if you do want to do multiplication, and also if you want to compare. Okay, so there are different type of operators which we will use inside our Python file throughout this course. Okay, so now we will understand and differentiate between different kind of operators. So the first kind of operators that we are going to look is the arithmetic operators. Okay, so under arithmetic operators, basically, we do have different kind. So the first one we can take is plus, then we can take is a minus. Okay, and after that we can go with multiplication, which is a asterisk, and for division we can have the slash, and also for integral division we can have double slash. Okay, we can have double slash right over here. And also if you do want to find the remainder of a number, okay, you can use this percentage sign. Okay, so as you guys can see, now these are mostly the arithmetic operators that we are going to use throughout our tutorial. So now if you want to print anything, let's type the print function. Let's open parenthesis, and now over here let's put 7 plus 7. Okay, so let's come here, let's put 7 plus 7, and also to understand that I do have some object, okay, inside this one, and to understand each and every character inside the print statement, I do have provided spaces in both the sides. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have the addition operator right over here. So in total, you guys can see 7 plus 7. So over here, I do have two numbers, and in between the two numbers, I do have this particular operator, okay, which will add up or sum up both of this number. So in total, this particular thing is called an expression. And also over here, you guys can see this particular function is also known as a statement. So inside a Python file, basically it consists of these two things. So one is the expression, which is the equation, the numbers, and also the operators. And this function is basically known as the statement. If I come here and if I run this here, you guys can see that I do have the answer as 14 right over here. Okay, so now the same way you guys can subtract from here as well. Let's come here, let's put minus, and over here let's put 10. And now let's run this particular code, and here the answer is basically 3. Okay, so if you don't want to give out any spaces also, it's fine. Just to make you guys understand in a better way, I did have provided these spaces. Okay, so here you guys need to make sure that you put the whole number, as now as we're using numbers, this is integer. Okay, but over here, if I just put decimals, it will turn into a float data type. Okay. So now let's come here. I can just do this one. And also if I do want to multiply, let's say I will just put out the asterisk. And now if I just run this one here, you guys can see the answer is 70. And also now let's come here, and if you do want to divide, let's come here. I will just put this slash, and over here if I run here, you guys can see the approximate answer over here is 1.4285, and I do have a lot of decimal numbers after this. So now the answer over here and the data type is not a integer, but instead it is a float data type. And whenever we are working with a float data type, we need to understand that we are not working with the exact number. We are just working with the approximation. Okay, so this is not just the exact number, but it is just the approximation, that it is just close to this number. Okay, it is not the exact value of division. Okay, so we need to understand about that as well once we are working. And now, if you want to find an exact number, let's say I want to have the answer in a whole number instead of any kind of decimal, I can just put this integral formula by putting 2 slash. And now if I just run this code here, you guys can see for answers, I will get the answer in a whole number. Okay, so this is about using the plus, the minus, the asterisk for multiplication, the slash for division, and also the double slash basically to get a division in a whole number. And now let's try to find out the remainder. Okay, so over now again 10. And now if I want to find the remainder over here using 7, now you guys will see that now I will have the answer as 3. And also we do use this percentage sign sometimes to find out a number is an even number or it is an odd number. Okay, so over here now let's come here, and if I just take out 5, and if I do want to find out the remainder, you guys can see the answer over here is 0. So the same way, if I come here, if I just put on 11, and if I just run this operator, you guys can see the remainder is 1. Okay, after dividing this one here, the remainder number is 1. It is not showing me in a float, but it is showing me in a whole number that what the remainder is. So these are the most frequently used arithmetic operators, and you guys might be thinking that how I'm able to write in the board over here, like in the code area into the ID, but now it is not causing me any kind of problem. So once you put this hashtag in front of your sentence or in front of your line, Python will automatically understand that they should not read that one. Okay, so they will understand that is just for reference, or this is just a example or a rash number which they should not read once I execute my code inside this particular file. Okay, so these are the arithmetic operators which are most frequently used. So now the next type of operators what we are going to learn is the comparison operators. Okay, so now what is a comparison operators? Just by hearing the name, comparison operators is basically the operators. I will just change comparison. Okay, so comparison operators. So just by hearing the name comparison operators, you guys must have got an idea that this particular operator is used to compare between two values. Okay, so now to compare between two numbers, what are the signs that we basically use? Okay, so we do use the greater than sign. Okay, we can use the greater than, we can use the greater than equals to, then we can use the less than sign, and we can use the less than equal to, and after that we can also use the double equal to sign, and also we can use the not equal to. And how you will be able to write the not equal to is you can put the exclamatory sign, and after that you need to put the equal to sign. So now in total under the comparison operators we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 operators which are mostly used. Okay, so under this we will also see few of the examples. Okay, let's say I do have two values. Let's come here. I will just go print. Let's open parenthesis. And now I will just put two numbers. Let's say 4 is greater than 2. Okay, so over here now the answers of all of this will be showing me in the Boolean value. Okay, so if you try to remember that what is a Boolean value, so a Boolean value is basically gonna show you answer in true or whether in false. Okay, so over here you guys can see that I do have a particular statement which says that 4 is less than 2. Okay, so over here this particular statement is false, and now if I come here and if I just run this code, you guys can see the statement is false. Okay, so the same way now if I come here and if I just change this one, the less than sign, to the greater than sign, and now if I run this code here, you guys can see the statement over here basically becomes a true statement. Okay, so this is the comparison operator, and now we will also see the equals to operator. Okay, so if I just use the double equal to, and if I just run this code here, it will show me a false statement. But the same way, if I come here, if I just put 4 is equal to 4, and if I run this here, the statement will show me that this is a true statement. Okay, and also if I just put some other number, let's say 4 is not equal to 8. Okay, let's come here. I will just put out the exclamation mark and let's run this code. It will show me that this is a true statement which shows that 4 is not equal to 8. Okay, so now we do have learned about the greater than, the less than, the equal to, and also the not equal to comparison operator. But now we are going to learn about the equal to, less than equal to, and the greater than equal to. Okay, so they do have a slight change, okay, which we need to understand, which is quite important once we are going to work. Let's say if I put here that 4 is greater than 4. Okay, let's come here. If I just put is, if 4 is greater than 4, and if I just run this particular operator, you guys can see in the answer I do have it as false. Okay, because 4 is not greater than 4, so this is a false statement. But after that in the operator, if I just put on equals to sign, so what it says is 4 is greater than and equals to 4. So now if I just run this thing here, you guys can see this particular statement from false, it's turning into true. Okay, so the same way if I come here and let me just put out the less than sign, and over here now let's put 9, and also over here let's put 9, and if I just run this particular code, you guys can see it will turn into a false statement. But the same way if I come here, if I just put on to the equals to sign, equals to or let's say less than equal to, okay, so I need to make sure that I put the equal to sign after this. So now 9 is less than and equal to 9, and if I run this code here, you guys can see this is now a true statement right over here. So this was about the comparison operators over here. Okay, so I hope you guys to have understood about the comparison operators as well. Now we are going to learn about the logical operators. Okay, so now I will just type logical operators, and under the logical operators we do have mostly three kind of operators. So the first one is a AND operator. Okay, so the second one is a OR operator, and the third one is a NOT operator. Okay, so I will just type NOT. Okay, as you guys can see, now I do have here these three particular operator. So now first off, let's check out the AND operator right over here. So in case of a AND operator, let me show you guys an example. Let's say over here I do have two different variables. So one variable I will put A, and over here I will put the value of A as 3, and I will also create another variable named as B. Let's come here. Let's click on enter. Let's click B is equals to 5. Okay. So as you guys can see that the A is equals to 3 and B is equal to 5. So now let's click on enter, and over here now I will just put out the print function. Let's open parenthesis, and over here I will just give out a statement. Let's say A is less than 5, and I'll use the AND statement. Let's give it up a space, and now I will just put my other operator, which is greater than 2. Okay, so let me just give out some spaces in between that you guys can view it properly. So now if you just look at this statement, what do you guys think? Okay, over here you guys can see the first statement over here is a true statement because the value of A is 3, which is correct, and the value of B is more comparing to 2. And if I just run this particular code, you guys will see that this is a true statement. Okay, so you guys will understand it in a better way if I come down and if I just show you guys the truth table. Okay, so if I just type print, let's give and now let's type true and true, and now let's copy this one. Okay, so I'll just control C. Let's come here, control V, and control V right over here. And now let's put this one as false, this one as false, and this one both as false statement. So once we are using this AND variable, we have to understand that over here we do have two kind of conditions because we are actually judging on the basis of two conditions. So in this particular case, we need to understand that if you want a true statement, in that case, you need to make sure that both the conditions are true. Okay, as you guys can see, this both the conditions are true. In that case, only they do have provided the answer as true. Okay, so let me just show you guys in detail. Let's come here, and over here now let's put the hashtag, and over here the first statement it will show me as true, and after that all the else statement, as you guys can see, I do have one false and one true. So it will show me that this is a false statement in the console. And the same way, let's come here and let's put this one as the false statement. Let's come here and also uh, let's put this one as a false statement, as both of these are false. Okay, so here to be this one as a true statement, both of these things have to be true. Okay, or both the conditions have to be true. So this is actually called the truth table. But the next opposite is the OR statement. Okay, so if you do want to learn about the OR statement, so let's come here, instead of AND, let's put OR, and also over here on top let's put the OR statement. And here, this is just exactly the opposite. So in AND statement, what happens is that here, if you see that both the statements are true, it will be a true statement. And if any one of the statement is true out of the two conditions, that will be a true statement in total. Okay, so I will come here, and over here also, as you guys can see, that I do have one true statement. Okay, so the whole answer will be true. And in only scenario it will be a false statement is when both the conditions are false, then only it will show that this is a false condition. Okay, so here that is the usage of the OR operator. And now lastly we will look at the NOT operator. Okay, so now to understand about the NOT operator, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm just going to delete all of this, and over here on top, let's type this one as the NOT operator. Now let's click on enter, and over here now I am going to create up a variable. Okay, let's say a is equals to 5. Okay, so I will just put a is equals to 5. Let's click on enter, and now this is the time for me to print. So I'll just click on print. Let's open parenthesis, and now I will put the NOT operation right over here. So if I tell that NOT is equals to, okay, so now if I tell that NOT, and I will just open another parenthesis, and over here I will just give a condition which is a is greater than 5. Okay, so if I tell that a is greater than 7 or a is greater than 3. Okay, so this is my statement right over here. And now if you just want an explanation on that, so let me come here. As you guys can see that if I do have put the condition which is not, and I'll just open parenthesis, a is greater than 3. Okay, and I'll just close parenthesis, and also over here now, as this one is not a true statement, okay, as this particular thing is not a true statement, so the answer is going to be false. Okay, so over here, as you guys can see, this particular answer is going to be false. Otherwise, here, as you guys can see, that here the value of a is equals to 5. So normally what happens is that if I put 5 and it is basically equals to like it is more and the statement is true. But now what happens is I do have this not operator which just does the reverse. Okay, so if I just run this code, and here you guys can see the statement over here is false. Okay, but the same way, if I come here, if I just remove the not statement, it will show that this particular statement is a true statement. So it just reverses using the not statement. So a true statement turns into a false statement, and a false statement turns into a true statement using the not operator. Okay, so I hope you guys to have understood till here. Okay, so now the next operator which we are going to learn is basically known as the assignment operator. Okay, so we will learn about the assignment operator. So under the assignment operator, we basically do have the equals to sign. Okay, so in the comparison operator, we do have seen that there is double equals to. Let's say if I just type a variable, so I'll just name this one the underscore var. Okay, so I will just give equals to, and let's say over here now I will just put out a number. Okay, let's say I will just put 4 over here. And now let me tell you guys that there is a difference between the 2 equals to sign and 1 equals to sign. So 1 equals to sign shows me that I am assigning the variable to this particular number or this particular value, this particular string or this particular variable is assigned to this particular number. But whenever I am putting 2 equals to sign, it shows me that I am comparing between both the numbers. Okay, so we need to understand that in what scenario we should use this one, and in what scenario we should use 2 equals to. If I have two numbers where I do want to do a comparison, then I'll use the double equals to sign. And if I want to assign a number, so in that case I will use the equal to sign. So let's click on enter, and if you do want to print, you guys can come here and you guys can print the var variable. Okay, so here you guys can see that I can just print the var variable, which will give me the answer of 4. Okay, so over here in the assignment operator as well, if you do want to come here and if you want to modify this variable, you guys can also do that. So after that, you guys can just type the var. Okay, and now let's give it up a space. And here, if you want to add any number, let's say I will just put on plus equal to. Okay, let me just put plus equal to 3. Let me just give this up a space. And now let's try to run this one. Let's come here. Let's click on Control C to copy and Control V to paste. And here, if I just run this code, you guys can see the answer over here for the first one is 4, and the answer over here for this particular code is 7. So what it's doing is it is coming here and the answer is 4, but now I am modifying this one. So here the var is 4 and it is getting added with plus 3, and now the answer is basically 7. Okay, so now let's come here. Let me just clear all of this again, and if you want to run this with other operators, you guys can also do that. Okay, let's say if I come here, if I just increase this number, let's say if I go with 11, and over here now let me go with 5. Okay, so if you do want to do minus, you guys can come here, you guys can use the minus option. You guys can see now the answer is 6. And the same way, if you do want to do multiplication, okay, you guys can come here and use this asterisk for multiplication. Okay, and at the same time, if you want to do division, you guys can come here, and also you guys can see you guys can do the division as well using this assignment operator. All we need to understand is where to use the variable and when to use this double equal to and a single equal to. So we need to understand always that the single equal to is for assigning operator. Okay, like these are known as assignment operator. Okay, and as you guys can see over here, now I do have put out this plus sign. So here 11 plus 5, which will show me 16 answer right over here. So throughout this class, we do have understood about 4 different kind of operators. First, we do have talked about the arithmetic operators. Then we do have learned about the comparison operators. Then we have seen about the logical operators, which consist of and, or, and not statement. Okay, and lastly, we do have seen the assignment operator, which you can see already on my screen. Okay, so this is all about the operators. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter, where we will be learning more about Python. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.